Hey guys, Vinny.
And this is Joe.
We want to ask, why is Zeno's weakness that was showcased in episode 104 really important? So we want to look at what the weakness is, why we think it's there, but we want to go a little beyond that and say, well, what is this really telling us about the character Zeno and the Dragon Ball universe, okay? So just to highlight what happened here, on Super Episode 104,
Zeno wasn't able to actually see the fight between Dispo and Hit. He actually struggled while seeing it and was obviously acting like the child he is, complaining about it. The Grand Priest had to come to his aid to actually help him out to actually see the fight and slow it down for him on his God pad.
Now, as fans of Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball overall, this should have been like something that, was interesting to us. It shouldn't have just passed by. You shouldn't have just said, oh yeah, that's normal because they're going really fast, so Zeno couldn't see it. That's not normal. Zeno is supposed to be the most powerful entity, at least that we know of right now, and possibly the most powerful overall ever, and he couldn't see the movement. So again, we want to move a little bit beyond just why. We believe the reason why he couldn't see the movement, in our opinions, says something about Zeno's character, and this is what it says. For however it is, and whatever the way it happened, and whatever in the universe that this is the case, Zeno is a child, and he needs to be protected. And that's what the flaw is really important in showing us about Zeno's character. Zeno is not a god who is going to protect and take care of himself. Zeno is a god who needs to be protected. And that is what is important about this weakness, and the evidence points to that. So some of the evidences that we have, of course, is we see the two guards put by Zeno's side. Now, when that originally happened, a lot of us said, why does Zeno even need these two guards next to him? What's up with that?
Yeah, and they always go wherever with him, and even with the slightest looks or even going close to him, they are constantly keeping an eye on him. Especially when Goku actually first met Zeno and shook his hand, they were not happy about it. You could just see it in their eyes. They wanted to probably attack him like crazy.
And now they're not scared that Goku's going to overpower Zeno. That's not Zeno's weakness. Zeno could wipe out Goku in an instant if he wanted to. Zeno just isn't able to perceive, I think, when somebody has ulterior motives, or they're trying to be sneaky, or they're trying to get one up on him. See, if somebody's crafty, Zeno is not going to pick up on those things. That's just a part of his weakness, being so young and immature in his attitude and his character. And so those guards are placed there not to protect Zeno strength-wise, fight-wise, but against craftiness, something that could overtake Zeno. And that makes sense now, because before, it doesn't really make sense. Like, why are the guards even there? Zeno could take care of himself. Well, he can physically take care of himself, but emotionally and mature-wise, I think there are things that could take Zeno by surprise, and those guards are there specifically for that. But that's not it. Because we also have, in probably a bigger picture, is the Grand Priest. The Grand Priest is almost presenting himself as Zeno's parent figure almost.
Yeah, I mean, it almost seems like he's always trying to make the decisions for him. He always is speaking for him. Whenever you hear anything, he always says, oh, this is what Zeno is saying. But sometimes I even wonder if it is what Zeno's saying or something he's coming up with, because I don't know if Zeno comes up with these type of things on his own, because he is still a kid. He just really wants to have fun. That's the point of the tournament, even, is a fun thing for him to do because he was sore bored.
We don't think the Grand Priest has any ill will or anything like that towards Zeno.
No.
We sincerely believe that the Grand Priest only wants to protect Zeno and look out for Zeno's best interests. And the Grand Priest knows Zeno better than anyone. He knows that Zeno doesn't really know exactly how to say what he wants, and he'll say that for him, right? He wants to make sure that Zeno is always taken care of. When Zeno is going to watch the fights, he gives him the God pad. He makes the God pad. Zeno needs a place for them to fight. He's going to make sure that the platform in the stadium is created. He's going to make sure that the rules are in place. He's going to make sure Zeno has a seat. When Zeno can't see what the fighters are doing, the Grand Priest is going to upgrade the God pad for Zeno. See, this becomes the whole reason why the weakness of that was shown in in episode 104 is important. Not necessarily why that weakness is there. It's kind of obvious. Zeno is young. He's immature. He's not like the fighters in the tournament where they've been training forever to look and find out these things and to examine speed and attacks. That's not Zeno. He's all powerful, but he's young, immature, and not a fighter. But we move beyond that. And we say, why? What is the importance of that in his character? The importance of that in his character is that Zeno needs to be protected right now. He has to be protected, not because he's not strong enough, but because he's not crafty enough. He's not mature enough. He doesn't have the fighter sense. That's why the two guards are there, and that's why the Grand Priest is that parent figure for Zeno.
And one thing I was thinking about before was Frieza when he says he will pretty much rule over Zeno or take him over or take over his spot. And I think he might be able to, in the sense that if nobody was around or there to protect him or were distracted in some other way, he could take advantage of Zeno, I believe, and actually get one above him, because that's just the way Zeno is. He isn't really all there to say, you know what, I gotta destroy you right away. He actually even might trust Frieza at one point.
I think the word here is manipulated.
Yeah, manipulate.
Zeno can be manipulated. I think that's really the key here, and that's sort of shown in this instance.
And that's also another thing that people are going with the Grand Priest as well, is that he might be able to manipulate him as well.
But we think the Grand Priest is actually protecting Zeno.
Yeah.
See, we think he's protecting him from the manipulation, and the guards are placed there on purpose. And there might have been something in the past that happened to produce this sort of result. So we just wanted to share this with you guys. We wanted to go beyond just the weakness and why the weakness exists to why it's important. Zeno is a god that needs to be protected in the Dragon Ball universe, and he can be, we think, manipulated or overtaken by other things, not power-wise. But we wanted to share this with you guys. What are your thoughts? Please leave them below. What do you think? You think there's more to it? You think we're missing something? Please add any additional thoughts you have. We love seeing your comments. Like and subscribe. This is Vinny.
And this is Joe.
Until next time.